Now, a report by the Philippine Center for Investigative Journalism reveals some top transport network companies, or TNCs, admit to making their drivers shoulder passenger discounts. Joyride drivers shoulder 80% of the PWD senior and student discounts, while Grab drivers 64% and food delivery and courier service app Get Express drivers 50%. Now let's talk about this with LTFRB Technical Division Chief Joel Bolano. It's a beautiful day, Sir Joel. Good morning and welcome to the show.
Sir Joel,
I think you're on mute, sir.
Sorry. Good morning.
There you go.
And Paolo. Thank you for inviting us.
Sir Joel, for the record, transport network companies should shoulder or 100% shoulder passenger discounts. Is this correct?
Just to clarify, Ms. Anna, the 2015 and 2017 issuance of LTFRB circular, during the accreditation of the TNCs, one of the terms and condition, the TNC should shoulder the 100% of the 20% discount.
Mm.
But during the 2019, fair matrix was issued for the TNCs, for the TNVS through the TNCs. Generally, the 20% should be shouldered by the operators, not the driver. It should be the operator.
Mm-hmm. So Grab in particular actually issued a statement wherein they said that they have an agreement with their drivers to split the discount charge 64 to 36. Now that already sounds a bit problematic given what you mentioned po. But there's also a report saying from the PCIJ saying that the drivers end up covering 50% of the discount as well. Now, when you hear things like this, some people are wondering, are there any sorts of penalties that these TNCs will actually incur because of these particular rules that they are actually admitting that this is the current split that is happening?
Actually, during the hearing last December, that's the time that the LTFRB set in a hearing to all TNCs. And during the hearing, it was revealed that there was really a sharing between the TNCs and the TNVS operators and drivers. So after that hearing, the LTFRB is now preparing the resolution. The board will issue resolution on that hearing based on the submitted documents by the TNCs. But again, just to clarify, the driver should not shoulder the 20%. It should be the operators. For the TNCs, pending the issuance of the resolution, since the hearing last December, it should be in status quo. It should be the TNC at this time should shoulder until and unless the board issued policy guidelines on the 20% discount.
Yeah, sir, I think that's also why a lot of drivers seem, so hostile about accepting rides from discounted passengers. And sir, LTFRB says that it will mandate all transport network companies to shoulder all discounts. So do you think that it's sufficient policy to protect the drivers and its passengers?
Yeah, as I've said, as of today, pending the result of the hearing last January, the board issued a pronouncement that it should be on status quo, that the TNC should shoulder the 100%, the 20% discount for the meantime that the board is still in the process of the resolution.
So are there any plans from the LTFRB to mandate more of a retroactive refunding of the drivers who have shouldered the cost?
Right.
Or is that even possible when it comes to these TNCs?
Well, that's part of the discussion and part of the deliberation of the board during the hearing and even after the hearing. So I don't want to preempt the result of the hearing. So we'll just wait for the resolution of the LTFRB board. But for the meantime, again, it should be the TNC should shoulder the 20% discount.
Sir Joel, on the issue of discounts, there's also this recent viral issue of fake PWD cards that's causing damage to businesses. What would be a good suggestion to improve the verification system of discount IDs here in the Philippines?
Well, thank you. And actually, the verification should lies on the operator or the TNC itself, because they should have some way on how to verify it, because government offices are also open for calls and verification or validation. So maybe before they uploaded the ID, it should be verified carefully to the agencies.
Sir, now since we're still on the topic of TNCs in particular, is this the biggest issue facing the ride-hailing app industry at the moment, especially when it comes to what the drivers are facing on a day-to-day basis?
Well, that's one of their, according to them, it affects their income on a daily basis. So that's why the LTFRB committed to the Senate Public Services to address it. So after the hearing, immediately we issue show cause order to all the TNCs for a hearing. That's why anytime this February, I hope before the end of the February, we can already issue the board can already issue the resolution on that particular issue.
What other policies do you think should be pushed to help protect not only drivers, but also the passengers? Like Grab, I know they rolled out the auto recording during the rides. So what other policies do you think they can do to help protect their passengers and drivers as well?
Well, I think policy issuance on the again, in the 20% discount, a clear-cut policy on who should shoulder. But again, the driver should not be included in the equation. It should be, even if in other modes, not in TNVS, it should be the operator. So the driver should not be shouldering the 20% discount. So policy, actually, all the policies in a 20% discount were already in place. Even laws, we have laws for that. So I think the drivers and the operators should know all these policies.
Sir, just playing devil's advocate here and bringing up the argument and the criticism, rather the argument from Grab itself, as we mentioned a while ago, that they do have a ride-sharing agreement. They have an agreement with their drivers in particular, where they say, quote, the TNVS driver or operator being the public utility vehicle that provides the transport service are the ones mandated by law to provide the discounts. And they even cited an LTFRB memo when it comes to that argument po. Now, again, just to be clear, the stance of the LTFRB, based on the reading of their laws and their memos, are that the TNVS, the Grab itself and the rest of the ride-hailing companies should shoulder 100%, and that any other reading is wrong. Is that correct, sir?
Yes, actually, as I mentioned, on the initial terms and conditions during the accreditation of the TNCs, because all TNCs were accredited by LTFRB. One of the conditions there in 2015 and 2017 issuance is for the TNC to shoulder 100% of the 20% discount. But then again, as I've mentioned, that the board also issued the official fare matrix for TNVS.
Yes.
Wherein the grantees or the CPC grantees or the holder of the franchise, which is the operator, should shoulder the 20%. Again, in general, all public transport that we have in the country, it should be the operator who shoulder. Now, because it was brought up during the Senate hearing, the LTFRB again committed to look into this matter. So a hearing was conducted and submitted their position papers. All the TNCs were invited, and now we are preparing to issue the resolution. So for the meantime, that the resolution was not yet issued by the board, the TNC should shoulder the 100%, the 100% of the 20% discount for the PWD senior citizen and the students. And after that, as committed also by the LTFRB, that a policy guidelines will be issued for the TNVS and TNCs in terms of the 20% discount.
Sir, could you give us a brief idea on, or rather a bigger picture here on just how reliant Filipinos are on TNCs and ride-hailing and other ride-hailing companies, just to give us an idea of just how big of a deal this actually is to the daily commuter?
Yes, actually, based on our based on the report that we receive, there are a lot of passengers that hardly get some booking.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning to say that they are reliant on to the app-based public transport at this time. So I think that this type of public transport is really an efficient way for the Filipino right now. It's another option for them in their daily commute.
Sir Joel, before we let you go, no, everything boils down to the state of public transportation in general. What other aspects of our public transportation do you think needs more attention right now?
As for LTFRB and the DOTR, we really go into the mass transport.
Mm-hmm.
That's the ideal public transport. It should be a mass transport. That's why right now, if you will notice, the government is more keen on the rail, and we have the busway, and we are also conducting this year a rationalization for public utility vehicle and in Metro Manila to study the whole public transport, land transport, to make sure that it should serve the purpose to the public.
Thank you so much for joining us this morning, LTFRB Technical Division Chief Joel Bolano. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, and good morning.